Okay, welcome to my second movement tutorial. This one will be about dashing into the ground and dashing across buildings. So horizontally at the apex of your jump. So first let's get up onto a big building here. I'm going to show you this is pretty simple. It's not a hard thing. Basically, I want to go a distance, I glide to flatten out my curve, and I dash a few times. Make sure your dash is at the max. As you can see, I get a pretty good distance here. It's not really much more complicated than that. That's pretty much it, really. You don't have to glide if you don't want to. I just find gliding a lot easier, especially when, for example, you're at the top of a building and you want to get to a specific building. It's a lot easier to glide. So I go to this one just here. It's a lot easier to glide. And plus it makes it easier when you're dropping. These kinds of skills you'll learn if you do the glide events, so that you just have to pick them up. It also helps with some of the later events. For example, let's say the glide event wants me to put myself down there somewhere. Take a bit of a running jump. Do one big dash jump. Glide. Figure out where you want to go. In this case I want to go right into the middle of those buildings, and then hold back and your glide will slow its fall. So that's horizontal movement, not much more than that. Let's get on to the more interesting one, which is dashing into the ground. Now, when you're sprinting, you take a while to get to full speed. Slowly speeding up, slowly speeding up. There we go. What you can do is dash straight into the ground, and then you're at full speed. Whoops, that's gonna do it right. There we go. As you can see, that's a pretty good time saver. Additional benefits of dashing to the ground is that it gives you greater corner control. Although you do end up destroying things when you do this, but hey. So you can see I can corner very fast using this. You don't actually have to jump. It's just a little bit faster if you jump. Otherwise, you're just sort of a little slidey. Which some people might find cool. Sort of like scrambling along the ground. Getting used to this dashing into the ground is very good for getting away from strike teams, very good for getting away from anything really, getting places fast, stuff like that. The benefit of this is that once you have gotten up to this speed, the jump carries your momentum, and unless you do something drastically wrong like let go of forward or let go of sprint, you pretty much can't lose it. You won't lose your forward momentum. Now, I'll see if I can get myself into some trouble and while I jump over these, jump around. Yeah, see I went forward and backward there. Still got it. No matter what, still got it. Even if I hit something on the way down, still got it. Once you've got your initial dash into the ground, doesn't matter if you mess up the first one. Now, a word of warning, if you try to dash into the ground, but you mess it up, for example, you had a dash and you hit something, it's not going to work. You have to make sure you dash into a clear spot on the ground, so you have to sort of aim between cars and things like that. Another one is that if you dash and then immediately hit an obstacle so that if he jumps over it, like that, you'll lose it. He got it for long enough then. Yeah, he did. It's a bit hard for me to show you how to mess it up, since I don't mess it up that much. Yeah, I just tried to do it there. Oh, it worked. Never mind. There you go. So you have to get a nice clear space and then you dash. Combining this with your previous skills lets you avoid strike teams, lets you run faster than them. It also lets you use armor in a way that I don't know if they intended, but it is very cool. So normally when you use armor, your running forward speed is reduced. You can see I'm at pretty slow speed there, and I'm holding it forward and you won't get any faster. What you can do is dash into the ground, and you, for a few seconds, just a few, you'll end up with a high speed. It takes like 2 or 3 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds, and then less than 1 second actually. But by chaining this, you go quite fast in armor. Which, I mean, it can be useful at times, especially if you need to do a really quick getaway to just do this for a few seconds. It also has some rather cool effects when you hit cars and things, because he knocks cars out of his way. So you know, smacking the cars up. Sometimes you park her on top of the car, he's just smacked away. It's pretty fun to do. You can also combine the horizontal forward momentum with the armor a lot easier because you only do a small arc. So you dash twice, you get quite a good speed here. You can actually outrun, you can outrun strike teams with this. I've got a video I've made where I've done that. You have to continuously do it, and you have to be quite good at it, but yeah, it's pretty fun. Most of you probably would prefer to just do this. You actually lose a bit of speed doing this, but unless you're a purist at keeping full speed like me, you probably don't care about that. I don't really like using armor myself because it's hard to pick up things. I find you tend to smash into them and break them and things like that. So I tend to go without armor. And I'll explain why I can do this without dying too much in my next video, which will be based around using movement in combat. Before we go though, I just want to show a couple of little movements which you may or may not find useful. Let's say you want to get an orb or something that's in midair here. If you grab onto a building, hold jump, so he's charging, press away from the building and let go, he does a nice little arc. Set it up right, and you can use this arc to collect orbs that you might think are pretty much impossible to get. The other one is when you're trying to be stealthy, pretend to be stealthy. When you get one of the wall movements that lets you slide down like this, doing that will prevent you from getting any of your yellow detection meter up. I use it to get into bases in a stealthy manner without raising too much detection meter. And just, it's kind of a sneaky way to do it. Looks kind of cool. You can also jump if you need to without actually using sprint. I don't really use as much. I don't find it very useful. Maybe occasionally when you need to get to a specific place and a sprint and jump will be too far or something like that, I might use it. Let's say I want to get up on this thing. But I missed, so I don't really know. I use it occasionally, but not that much. The only other movement that I find really fun is if you jump and then hold back your rather spiffy little somersault, which is just fun to do. And the last one is if you happen to decide to jump away like Superman, I'm jumping away. If you tap forward and then back really fast, forward back, and then let go at jump as you press back, you do that somersault thing I was talking about. That's pretty much it for the movement, so I'll just stop here now.